Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Also, do you think Chris Beard bounces from Ole Miss to a better job? So it was funny. I was watching the Ole Miss Tennessee game, and Chris Beard. Ole Miss is about to win, or it was late in the game. It wasn't even the court storming, but Ole Miss is about to win the game, and somebody throws something on the floor, and I just love this. This was the most alpha thing that I have ever seen. Not ever seen, but that I've seen a coach do. Is he doesn't even wait. He just walks right over to the scorer's table, grabs the mic, and says, "Hey, we don't do that in Oxford, Mississippi. Okay, we don't do it." It was like your dad, like when your dad didn't even yell at you. He just kind of looked you in the eye and said, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you? Just go to your room." Like that was Chris Beard to that entire student section. I freaking loved it. Now, as far as his future, I was also thinking about this. I know that we live in a portal NIL world. But if you look at that Ole Miss team, I mean, they're really built for this year to make the NCAA tournament. And then it's going to be a pretty hefty rebuild after this season. Ole Miss, remember, he inherited Matt Morrell and he inherited Jamin Brakefield from the previous coaching staff, from Kermit Davis. So those are veteran guys that have been in the program for several years now. And, they're both graduating after this year. Dre Davis, I'd have to triple check this, but I'm almost positive Dre Davis is a last year guy. Jalen Murray, Juju Murray is a last year guy. And so I think, to me, I don't really see, like, I have to think that if you're going to get out, this would probably be the year to do it. By the way, Sean Padula is a fourth year guy. So I would think if you're going to get out, this would be the year to do it. Now, the second thing about it is that Chris Beard is the only one that really hasn't commented at all about other jobs and other opportunities. Chris Beard, you think about the Indiana job, right? Brad Stevens puts out a statement, "I don't want it." Dusty May signs a contract extension, "I'm good." Other guys have kind of hinted that they wouldn't be interested in it. Chris Beard has stayed quiet. And so I do think Chris Beard wants out. I do think he wants Indiana. Now, the Indiana community will tell you they're mixed on if they think Indiana would actually hire him. We know about his background. We know about the reason that he is no longer the head coach at Texas. I'll let every individual decide if they like it or not, or they think he should be a candidate or not. But I think there's a few things about Chris Beard's candidacy. One, we can all agree that what he was accused of was not good. I'll just leave it there. But charges were dropped. And here's the other thing. Is that Ole Miss kind of did the dirty work of being the first school to give him another opportunity. So if you're Indiana, if you're whoever, now all of a sudden, like, yeah, you're going to take a bad day of PR, but guess what? You're hiring him from Ole Miss. He rehabilitated his image at Ole Miss, and you're not the bad guy that hired him straight after the firing at Texas for what we know happened. So that's one. Two, the other thing with Chris Beard, and I keep saying this, I truly believe this in my heart. Chris Beard, I don't want to say he was on the 1 yard line with Arkansas last year. He was in the red zone. Like, I think he was ready to take that job. At the last minute, it fell apart. Nobody could figure out why. And I think it was because they knew they had a chance to get John Calipari. And so if he was willing to leave Ole Miss after 1 year for Arkansas, I think he's going to be willing to leave to another place, especially because of the fact that, again, his roster is very veteran. Now, what becomes interesting is if it's not Indiana, like, where's he going to go? Now, I know he has ties all over. He has ties to Texas. He has ties to the state of Arkansas from his time at Little Rock. I get that. I guess the counter to me would be, are any of those jobs, like, are they really worth? You're Chris Beard. And listen, I'll say this. You can say whatever you want about him. Guy made a Final Four at Texas Tech, made a national championship game at Texas Tech, had Texas as the number one team in the country, is going to take Ole Miss to an NCAA tournament. And so he's going to be a candidate for good jobs every single year. And so I don't know if you take the half a step up job from Ole Miss, right? Like, I'm not saying he would be a candidate at Florida State, but like, if you're Chris Beard, you're going to leave for Florida State. You're going to leave if, like, Iowa opens, which again, I think it will. Like, you're going to leave if Texas A&M opens and Buzz Williams leaves, or are you going to wait for that premier job? Listen, I'll say this. Bill Self ain't going to be around forever. Kansas is probably going to open up in the next 3 to 4 years. If you love Arkansas, you spent time in Arkansas. Arkansas is going to open up over the next couple years. John Calipari is not going to be there forever. So it's just, I don't know that anything other than Indiana would move the needle. I will say this, I have been asked about the Texas job. I think Texas is going to open. I think they're going to miss the tournament, but even if they make it, I think there's a possibility that it opens. I don't think he's a candidate there. It's just an opinion. It's just a hunch, but I do kind of get the sense that Texas ain't going back down that road after what happened and the manner in which he was fired and let go. By the way, I don't know if he would want to go back given, that they fired him while there were criminal proceedings still going on. I don't know. But I bring it up because I do think he's a candidate. I just don't know how many better jobs there are. Now, if Indiana called an offer, I feel 97% certain that he's taking that job. If Indiana called, remember, he was a longtime assistant to Bob Knight when Bob Knight was at Texas Tech. That's the job he wants. I just don't know if he'll get it.